How the moon moves. Why are there over 4 extra hours of moonshine? Introduction. We were chatting with a friend in Palm Springs who was inquiring about the moon and its unusual position in the sky. Why was the bottom of it cut off and the same color as the sky? We decided to track the moon the next few nights and see what it was doing and why the bottom of it was missing and not the side as expected. We both took photos on 10th to 14th April 2025. Our friend is located in Palm Springs, Florida, United States, which is just north of the Tropic of Cancer, whereas we are located on the Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia, which is just south of the Tropic of Capricorn. Google question: is there a difference in the amount of time we see the moon in Northern Hemisphere compared to Southern Hemisphere? AI overview. No, there's no fundamental difference in the amount of time the moon is visible between the Northern and Southern Hemispheres, as we both are positioned almost an equal distance away from the equator, but in opposite directions. Our results should be similar. The results are surprising. Comparison of moon viewing times on 10th to 11th April 2025. On the 10th of April 2025, in Palm Springs, Florida, United States, moonrise was 5:56 p.m. and moonset was 6:11 a.m. on the 11th of April 2025. This was about 12 hours 15 minutes viewing time. On the 10th of April 2025, in Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia, moonrise was 4:08 p.m. and moonset was 4:15 a.m. on the 11th of April 2025. This was 12 hours and 7 minutes viewing time. On the night of the 10th to 11th April 2025, we only had a difference of 8 minutes viewing time of the moon. This is similar, but wait and see what happens as the days progress. Comparison of moon viewing times on 11th to 12th April 2025. On the 11th of April 2025, in Palm Springs, moonrise was 6:47 p.m. and moonset was 6:38 a.m. on the 12th of April 2025. This was about 11 hours 51 minutes viewing time. On the 11th of April 2025, in Sunshine Coast, moonrise was 4:35 p.m. and moonset was 5:06 a.m. on the 12th of April 2025. This was about 12 hours 31 minutes viewing time. If we are both located about the same distance from the equator and our visual of the moon is a similar shape, why does Sunshine Coast have an extra 40 minutes viewing time of the moon on the night of the 11th to 12th April 2025? Comparison of moon viewing times on 12th to 13th April 2025. On the 12th of April 2025, in Palm Springs, moonrise was 7:39 p.m. and moonset was 7:07 a.m. on the 13th of April 2025. This was about 11 hours 28 minutes viewing time. On the 12th of April 2025, in Sunshine Coast, moonrise was 5:02 p.m. and moonset was 5:57 a.m. on the 13th of April 2025. This was about 12 hours 55 minutes viewing time. On the night of the 12th to 13th April 2025, Sunshine Coast now has an extra 1 hour 27 minutes of viewing time of the moon. Why are we seeing the moon for a longer time when we are equal distances from the equator? Comparison of moon viewing times from 9th to 14th April 2025. Let's compare the data using time and date. Why would Palm Springs and Sunshine Coast have conflicting data when we are both located about the same distance from the equator? Comparison of moon viewing time from April to May 2025. We decided to calculate the viewing time of the moon for 2 months, April and May 2025. Dark pink refers to Palm Springs. Light pink refers to Sunshine Coast. The last column shows which location had more moonshine and how much extra moonshine was provided. The smallest difference was 2 minutes, the 25th of April, whereas the largest difference was 4 hours 23 minutes, 3rd to the 4th of April. There seems to be 12 to 14 days of the moonshine in one area, then it switches to the other location. This information shows us the dates when the moon changes gates as described in Enoch 73 to 74. For example, the moon would change gates near these dates: the 4th of April, the 11th of April, the 18th of April, the 25th of April, the 1st of May, the 8th of May, the 15th of May, the 22nd of May, the 28th of May. Are people seeing the pattern with the moon viewing time? Sometimes Palm Springs sees a moon for a longer time, and sometimes Sunshine Coast sees the moon for a longer time. It can be as much as 4 hours and 23 minutes extra viewing time. Moon in Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia. Which way does the moon rotate in the south? The moon rotates anticlockwise in the south. We observed that the moon rotated slowly when the moon first appeared in the sky. Then the moon rotated quickly in the middle when above our heads. Then as it disappeared, it rotated slowly again. Moon in Palm Springs, Florida, United States. Which way does the moon rotate in the north? The moon rotates clockwise in the north. Comparing the moon in Palm Springs to Sunshine Coast, we have placed markings on the moon to help with orientation. We have placed a pink crescent and pink dot on the moon when looking from the south. We have placed a purple crescent and purple dot on the moon when looking from the north. Comparing the moon in Sunshine Coast to Palm Springs, second hour. Correct view of the moon about second hour. Let's place the markings on top to help. Let's flip the moon 180 degrees in Sunshine Coast and see how it matches with Palm Springs. Notice they are similar, but once flipped, they are mirror images of each other. Comparing the moon in Sunshine Coast to Palm Springs, 6th hour. Correct view of the moon about 6th hour. Let's place the markings on top to help. Let's flip the moon 180 degrees in Sunshine Coast and see how it matches with Palm Springs. Notice they are similar, but once flipped, they are mirror images of each other. Why does the moon rotate opposing ways? Let's observe how the moon rotates in the north versus the south. The moon's orientation changes depending on the position it is viewed. From the north, the moon looks right way up or upside down depending on which side we are viewing from. From the south, the moon looks right way up or upside down depending on which side we are viewing from. Let's look at the photos of the moon and see how the moon rotates. In the north, the moon rotates clockwise. In the south, the moon rotates anticlockwise. In the north, if the moon was showing from about 6 p.m. till about 6 a.m., then halfway through would be about 12 a.m., 6th hour. In Palm Springs, the dot on the moon had just gone past the 6 o'clock position towards 7 o'clock. In the south, if the moon was showing from about 4 p.m. till about 4 a.m., then halfway through would be about 10 p.m., 6th hour. In Sunshine Coast, the dot on the moon had just gone past the 12 o'clock position towards 11 o'clock. Here's an illustration showing what the moon looks like on flat Earth. In order for Sunshine Coast and Palm Springs to both see the dot near the middle of the moon's daily viewing cycle, the moon must do one full rotation with the dot facing just past north. Let's explain using a smiling face on the yellow dot, which represents the moon. If the face is toward the ground, both people have a mirror image view. Let's illustrate on a diagram of flat Earth. The moon always needs to be positioned in the correct orientation in the sky as it moves around the flat Earth. This gives us a different perspective of it depending on where we are standing. The moon travels in a clockwise direction, looking in easterly direction, looking from a northerly or southerly direction, looking in westerly direction. Notice how the face rotates. In the north, the moon rotates clockwise. In the south, the moon rotates anticlockwise. This is not completed to scale. The moon is seen further away than the 90 degrees viewing window we demonstrated. Let's speed up the rotation. Northern view. Southern view. North and south simultaneous views. Let's compare views using the photos of the moon. Enoch's gates. From a scriptural perspective, the book of Enoch tells us that the sun and moon travel clockwise in the firmament across a flat earth. In addition, the sun and the moon change their positions in the sky by jumping between the different gates as described in Enoch 72 to 74. This explains why the moon is seen in the sky for different lengths of time. When the moon is in gate 1, it is seen for longer in the south. When the moon is in either gate 3 or 4, it is seen for about the same time in the sky. When the moon is in gate 6, it is seen for longer in the north. Phases of the moon. To understand how the phases of the moon work on a biblical Earth, this video explains it well. How it works. Each person has a different perspective. This is an effective video to explain how the moon appears upside down depending on where one lives. Hanging on his words shows us that each person has their own viewing perspective. This needs to be taken into account. More photos of the moon. Palm Springs, 12th to 13th April 2025. Let's speed up the rotation in Palm Springs. More photos of the moon. Sunshine Coast, 13th to 14th April 2025. More photos of the moon. Palm Springs, 13th to 14th April 2025. Moon's different positions over April 2025. Sunshine Coast. On the first night of watching, we observed the moon traveling along a path that was located north in the sky above the tree near our home. The very next night, the moon was located almost directly above our heads, almost north. We believe the moon may have moved from one gate to the next gate, as it was traveling from the east to the west along a different path in the sky. Approximate bird-eyes view of moon's path above our home. We discovered that as the moon travels from east to west, from our visual perspective, the moon does an arc in the sky. See the following time-lapse footage of the moon. Camera directions. When taking photos of the moon, please be aware the camera needs to be parallel with the horizon. Following is a video taken looking up at a tree. 1. Camera position horizontal looking up to sky. 2. Turning the camera to the left. 3. Turning the camera to the right. 4. Moving the camera up. 5. Moving the camera down. Notice how left and right directions are reversed when we look up at the sky. Thank you so much to our friend in Florida for your photos to help us with this video. Her YouTube channel, Tree of Eternal Life. For those who want to subscribe, your word is truth. The Spiritual Kingdom of Yahuwah. Disclaimer. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Telegram.